Well, hey, Baptist history class for the fall semester of 2024 here at First Baptist Church of Gaston. You'll have to excuse my desk and the mess and everything. Outside of my home, I spend the most time in here in my study, and so here at the church. And so I didn't do a review video last week, but I did want to get you one this week. Just to let you know, after this Sunday, we're taking a 1-week break, and then we will finish the class with the last 4 weeks of discipleship groups. Of course, on October 6th, we won't have discipleship groups because we will be having our chili cook-off on October 6th. But this Sunday, I'm excited. We're going to have class 4. If you were with us this past week, you remember this past Sunday, we looked at 1779 all the way to 1824. We discussed coming out of the Revolutionary War. We talked about how churches started incorporating themselves as was pushed by the Charleston Baptist Association. But when Richard Furman brought the idea of incorporating the association said, hold off, gunslinger, youngin', we're going to wait on that. And they did, but they ended up incorporating themselves later on. And so I think I'm really excited, and I hope you are, for this coming Sunday. Of course, last week we left off with the start of the convention. There were only 6 delegates at that first Baptist convention. And so, of course, Richard Furman died in 1825. I told you 1824 last week, but it was 1825. And so this week we pick up in 1824. So I've got my notes, or your notes, for this week in front of me that I will give you. So just a reminder, I'm writing my own curriculum this semester, so that's why you're getting them week by week, and you're responsible for putting them in your binder. So I've got the stack right here of all of them. As of right now, I don't have any reading for you. I'm going to give you the break, the 2 weeks break, to review your notes, not to read anything new, but review the notes so that you come prepared for us to take on during and after the Civil War in Baptist history. Because this coming Sunday, we're going to pick up in 1824, and we're going to spend a good bit of time in the 1820s, 30s, and 40s. And we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about how the association was still the predominant cooperation mechanism for Baptists at the time. The convention still hasn't really taken off yet in the 1820s, 30s, and 40s. We'll touch on the Second Great Awakening and what that meant for Baptists. And then we're going to get into the 1850s, and we're going to talk about some interesting things that you might not have ever thought about before. We're going to hit some really hard topics. We're going to talk about how Baptists handled from the pulpit slavery and white supremacy. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about how in 1845, why the Southern Baptist Convention was formed. And I want to remind you, as I have throughout the class, not all of our history is great. So far in the class, we've seen a lot of great things. We've seen Baptists focus on missions. We've seen Baptists focus on church planning, education. But now we're getting into some bad things. I want to remind you that I don't sugarcoat it simply because it happened, and we need to remember that it happened so that it doesn't happen again. So I'm really looking forward to this coming Sunday. I hope you'll join me. 5 o'clock will start. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you're watching this video, I would love to get a text from you and what you're learning so far. And what you found interesting about Baptist history in South Carolina. Okay, love you. Hope you're dry. I'll be leaving the office soon because